Good morning. So give me a second. Let me adjust this. And yep, here we go. All right. Good morning. Let me try to wait a few people before I go on. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Good morning. All right. Let me check this. Let me know if this is okay. So we're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to 14 days of mental repositioning. Welcome, welcome. My name is Adewale Timothy, and this is my YouTube channel. This is my space and also our space. And what do I do basically? I talk about purpose, mindset, and faith. All right. One of the things I believe is the most important subject that we should discuss much more is purpose. All right, purpose, and purpose is one of the things that, let me say, is he's hinged on mindset. So that's why you'd see me talk about mindset in direct, let me say, in relation to purpose. So, what is 14 days of mental repositioning all about? It is an intent. The intention is to set you in the right posture, right mental framework, such that you are able to have better results simply because something has changed upstairs. And that is it. Until something changes in you, nothing changes around you. All right. So if you're already up, I want you to let me know that. Just give me a hi. Let me see that you're here. You can just wave at me. You can just tell me hi. Just let me know. Just let me know. Just let me know. I mean, so it means that you're an early bird. You can quickly you're used to waking up early, or if you set an alarm just so you won't miss this. All right, so let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see you. Just tell me hi. Or my name is this. Let me just know that you're here with me. Okay, is someone saying? I want to get that response. I want to see that you're here with me. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Just give. I'll give you a few seconds just to. If you want to share this, please do. I mean, obviously, please don't forget to like this. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and definitely, please hit the notification bell so that every morning you just. Sometimes you can be awake and just forget, but then when you hit the notification bell, you quickly get and you get informed. All right, you get informed. All right, so let's push. Let's make progress. Mental repositioning. One thing that we should know is naturally, or let me say, or ordinarily, we are already set in a position where the things that we believe, the things that we think of, how we interpret situations are largely dependent on the upbringing we had, the environments we came from. And that has gone a long way in determining what we think is true. That has formed our beliefs on truth. So that's why you have people who might have been born in the same hospital, born in the same place, um, in the same country, on the same day, at the same time. But when you check their life in the next 10 years, they are two different people. So it means that your environment has a large part to play in your growth process. So what does that mean to us? It means that if we do not make take and have should I say, take an intentional approach in correcting some things, guess what? You'd be living as a product of your background. It's a good thing, all right, and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing if the background you had was very positive. That is, it was an environment that supported a lifestyle of growth. That's an excellent thing, very much excellent. But then, if that was not what happened, then there's going to be a lot of troubles happening right now and even going forward. So what do we do? Mental repositioning. Mental repositioning. And this is something I define mindset as this. I have some things I wrote down here, so I don't want to forget them. I want to have a progressive flow. So a mindset is a lens through which you view life and interpret the circumstances around you. In simple terms, no much gibberish or grammar. It is the lens through which you view life and interpret the circumstances around you. A pictorial example to help you understand this. During Christmas, when you would usually get those glasses, colored glasses. Some of us have yellow, some of us have blue, some of us have green, and different colors. And you find out that when you look at someone, when you're looking at someone, you are seeing them in light of the color of the pair of glasses you're putting on. That's exactly how mindset is. That you interpret life situations and the circumstances around you based off the mindsets that you have. So a person can be saying something, but they can't seem to grasp it simply because you are seeing it in a different light. And one thing that you must learn to do is to be able to introspect and really come to a point where the choices you are making are choices based off what is correct. And that's where the concept of originality comes from. That somebody is vehemently defending something with so much boldness, confidence, seeming very authoritative about it, very sure, doesn't necessarily mean it's correct. A good example, I was on Sunday, I got in a conversation with somebody, and the person who we're talking to, excuse me, sorry, we're talking to seemed very sure of what he was saying, but he was far from the truth, very far. What I mean, far, I mean, very far. So we had to just listen to him. So as we listened, eventually we came to a point where we could tell him what was correct. He defended it with so much assurance that yes, what I'm saying is correct. Even quoting things that were known in the Bible and says, even the Bible says, things like that. So a mindset is the lens through which you interpret life and the circumstances around you. There's a way you think about things that determines your actions and your reactions. There's a way you think about life situations that determines how you respond to things in on different fronts. Different fronts. Could it be in finances? How you spend money is absolutely related to what you think about money. The reason why the poor people are poor is because of how they think, honestly. The reason why maybe in terms of your relationship you have issues with friendships and all that, it is a direct relationship between your results and your mindset. So what does it mean? If you can change something, reposition something up there, something outside will change. That's why people get up, they end up frustrated. They go about setting new goals, but don't adjust their mindset. It is adjusting your mindset before setting goals. The reason you must become the way to achieve goals is to become the goals before you actually achieve the goals. I have something just here on my wall here. I usually just paste things around my room. So it reads, as the morning shows the day, so also the boy shows the man. That's a quote by Jim Rohn. And then what I wrote on that there, I said, Timothy, you're already building the foundation of your life. Start acting like what you see tomorrow. You don't just hope to get into tomorrow and tomorrow looks mwah, mwah, mwah. No, you become. It is becoming. So the person you have become makes is now the one who produces the goal. That's how it works. So, but then what do we try to do? We try to go ahead and achieve things. And what happens to us? We lack the ability to sustain those of them. You find that people achieve things, they get goals. But then, for example, a first class student would always, there's a mindset that sponsors you to have good results, right? But then you find out that every single thing that we have grown up with has sponsored a fear that keeps you limited. Now, I wrote here you've seen the word human being, but you actually never paid attention to it. Maybe the only thing you know about the word human being is because, or maybe from a Latin word, what it means. Okay, Homo sapien. And I'm not just talking about biology. Now I'm talking about coming from a philosophical approach and also a psychological approach. If you take notes, it's called human being. That is Being, not Been. Have you heard about that before? B-E-E-N, not B-E-N. It's B-E-I-N-G. And that shows continuity. Being. So what does that mean? It means that what the being in human being captures something unique about humans. We exist in a state of flux. That is, we are continually evolving, learning, and interpreting the place around us continually. So we are in a state of flux. We are in a is in continuance. There is continuity. So what does it means that there is an ability to adjust things. A goat doesn't. A goat is a goat. A goat is a goat. You can treat a pig so nicely, dress the pig up, take the pig to the palace. The pig walks up and down the palace. There's no mud to stay in. But just by chance, the pig goes out and he sees mud. It's jumping in right straight up. What's happening? There is a conditioning. So as you've grown up, you have been conditioned to a form. And the good news is that you can be reconditioned. You can recondition yourself back to, that's what happens. Some of us, the thing we call trigger is because there's that word because it there is there are when you're trying to overcome, for example, addictions. If you don't try to put every other thing in place, eventually, if you stop for a while, there's going to be a should I say, there's going to be a relapse when a trigger comes. But then if you deal with the mindset, trust me, even because there's nothing, the mindset has changed, so there is nothing to be triggered anymore. So it all starts from the mind. It all starts. So there's an ability to become anything, to undergo transformation, right? And to change our already existing patterns. You have that ability. So when people tell me things like, oh, that's how I am, I just look at them and no, that's not how you are. That's how you've grown up to be. If you start making the right choices, start consuming the right information, eventually you'll see your life change. You will. You don't expect a guy who grew up in the hood to be. I mean, if except that's what we're going to now. Except he makes his environment changes and he makes better choices. You don't expect him not to act like the guys in the hood. A place like Silicon Valley, if you check it, most of the inventions that we're having today are all coming from that place. Steve Jobs of Apple, Elon Musk today, Mark Zuckerberg, the rest of them, Google. There is from so it's like you just growing up in the Silicon Valley already, should I say, provides you with a mindset of possibility. You're already thinking outside the box. You're already thinking. If you grow up in a community where husbands lash their wives, where there is a lot of family abuse between husbands and wives, fathers and pardon me again. If don't trust me, your mindset is already tending towards that. And eventually, when you get married, don't be surprised if you begin to repeat those same things. So that's why people are surprised when they get into some certain situations and they are acting some way. It's traced back to something. So you have an ability. Yes, you do. You have an ability. Every single person was, and what is responsible for that is the mind. Everybody was born as a white canvas. All right, just born plain. Everybody was born as a white canvas without nothing has been done, nothing at all. You haven't been just plain. So now the unfortunate thing now is that some of us were born into families of or environments of unskilled artists, people who were already tainted, people who were already affected by life. Now they began to paint on us, began to draw on us, whatever they felt like doing. From primary school, that class teacher that always insulted you, that friend that always bullied you. So eventually, you grew up with that mindset of, oh, you're not good enough for everybody, or you have to buy the love of people. You're with maybe some of you with good morals, or maybe with good works. One thing that shocks me is when people grow up and they just become something else. They just, should I say, break out. I could tell that perhaps this person has been a goody two shoes because they're trying to please somebody who felt like their relevance, their importance to them came from their good works. So you wanted to feel close, feel loved, feel important. So you were just doing good things to earn that. So when got to a point where you just like, oh, I don't care. Let me do what I want to do. And then they just break out. That could be a reason as well. Now, the canvas. So the canvas is white. People that drawing on it, doing a lot of things. So you might not have chosen the circumstances around you. You might not have chosen the life you have right now. But you are responsible for how it continues. The outcome of it is absolutely your decision to make. And I know that could be, some people could say, oh, that's still one thing, you're being incensed by saying that. And I apologize, but it's the truth. If you are living some way right now and it's not palatable, let me tell you what you're doing. You are bearing the brunt for someone else's error. And perhaps that thing has moved on with life. So you're having issues in some certain areas because somebody somewhere, someplace, someday did something that affected you. And now that's why you are here. So it's like you're living as a consequence. What 14 days of mental repositioning wants to achieve is to equip you with superior mindsets. That is, you are no longer living as a consequence, but you have risen up to the task of causing changes. You now take responsibility for the kinds of things you think about, how you see yourself, what goes on around you. You're not longer living as subject to those experiences. Like I said, you might not have chosen them, but you have a responsibility to determine how it continues. The story of two brothers. So two brothers were maybe around the age of. I'm sure by now you can tell that cold is around. I'm sorry. So two brothers. One was a very successful businessman. The other was struggling through life. This guy was a CEO, had employees, did a lot of things everywhere, very wealthy, had a robust net worth. But now this other guy was struggling, was barely up to average, barely up to average. And eventually, a presenter was interested, or let me say, an interviewer was interested in knowing what exactly was intrigued by it. How can two brothers be this far apart? So he asked the first guy, "Why are you this way?" He says, "Oh, it's because of my father." Then he asked, "I'm sorry." Then he asked the second guy, he says, "Why are you this way?" He said, "Oh, because of my father." And he was now more curious, like, okay, your father, but you have different results, same experience, same background, but different results. How is that possible? Then he zoomed in on the first guy. Why did you say your father? That's the guy who's successful. He says, "Oh, yes, my father was a drunkard. He maltreated my mom. He was very absent. I mean, times it was present. It was like the house was always hot. And it caused a lot of pain. So he chose to turn that pain into a success story. He chose to make better decisions, make better choices, do better things than his father did. He didn't want to repeat the same life that his father lived. And that was the reason why he chose better." So the other guy now said, "Yeah, my father, because he was never present. I had no one to control me. I had no one to talk to. I needed counsel on many times, but then my father wasn't around. My mom was always injured, always beaten, always crying, and those sides were very hurtful. They marked me negatively. That's how I am today. I grew up hating myself, low self-esteem. I mean, and I eventually joined the wrong set of friends, and that's why I'm here." What's the difference between these two? They have the same experience, same background, but each of them chose or did not choose, as the case may be, to do with whatever they desired with what the experience they had. The same thing now, you're sitting in those shoes, right wherever you're listening to me. Are you living as a consequence of someone else's action? Are you currently subjected to a certain kind of experience because of a mindset you have, which you developed as a result of an experience you've had? I think it's time to check out those things. Look at your life, introspect, find out, where is this coming from? Why am I acting this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I talking this way? Why do I believe things like this? That's the concept of the rich dad, poor dad. That's exactly how it was. If that's the son of that man did not go visit the rich dad, was going to eventually end up poor like his father. He will. So you want to learn to adjust the things upstairs. And that's what 14 days of mental repositioning is set to do. So as we go on in this journey, I'll be contrasting between two things. And you see that the first today is a garden, not a graveyard. A garden or a graveyard. So you have one of these two. A garden where ideas flourish, where there is positivity, where there is abundance. You're not thinking scarcity. You're thinking in light of doing things. A mind where ideas flourish. You have people who do not even give time to any slight idea that comes to their minds. Why? Because they have a graveyard mindset, and that's not in any way insultive. It's just to define the state of your thinking. If ideas don't thrive in your mind, if positivity is absent, then we're talking about the graveyard. But you can begin to cultivate that land, and that's why you are here. You're starting with this, where you are taking in the right information, and something called you are breaking up the fallow ground so that it becomes fertile, where you have a mind that can strengthen positive thoughts. All right, strengthen positive thoughts. So you are breaking up that ground so it doesn't become a graveyard. It's either a garden or a graveyard. In a garden, you plant things and you see the beautiful flowers, the tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, everything growing. But in a graveyard, it's dark, it's silent, it's quiet, it's boring. Nobody likes to sit in a graveyard even for 10 minutes. It's sorrowful, it's depressing. But you step into a garden and you're smiling, you're touching the green leaves. That's how your mind should be. Because that's how your life is going to be eventually. It's going to be a replica of what you have already upstairs. So 14 days of mental repositioning is set to, should I say, flush out every form of negativity and give to you a very good approach towards life. So that's what we'll be doing all through, where I'm contrasting between something and another. And let me just give you, for tomorrow, it's going to be okay. Let me keep that. Let me keep that. But then make sure that you're here tomorrow and try to keep this streak. Try to keep it. Try to ensure that, okay, yes, I'm going to be here for every single day. I will not miss one. All right. On my part, this is something I'm happy to do. And I also believe that it's going to be very much helpful to you. So let's go. Let's get on this journey together and let's make progress. Let's make progress. Please do well to like this video, do well to subscribe as well, and please do well to share this once I post it. If you're not already on the channel, please do so. Please do so. You can check the description. All right, you're going to see the channel. All right, you're going to see the channel right there. It's the t.me/, the Rabbi Global. All right, do well to join so that once I post it there, you are able to immediately rewatch them, or watch them again rather, and then share them with your friends on your status. And so this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to post on the Telegram channel. I'm going to post up, put a flyer with a quote about something I said today. All right, so let's share it. Let's share it. We're doing this together. You share it. You share them together. So I'm going to do that so that we really make the best of this time. All right. So with all that being said, I challenge you. Yes, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to come with me for every day. For the rest of, so now we have 12 days to go. Already 2 days out. We have 12 days to go. So I'm challenging you to finish it up. Get to the very end, and you'll be better for it. Be very much better for it. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure to like this video, and also share it if what you heard was valuable. Please do well to share. All right. I mean, going forward, we're going to have better and just increased quality. Just like I would always say, do what you can, do the best with what you have until what you have can do the best. All right. And one more thing I want you never to forget is this: until something changes in you, nothing changes around you. All right. So please make sure you have a great day today. Now you started with a mental coffee. Stay awake all day. Flush out every form of negativity. Be intentional about the thoughts that you think. Take some time to introspect, find out why you're doing some things, and change the things necessary. Go after the right knowledge, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Again, I'm the Rabbi, your number one cheerleader. Till we see you again tomorrow, stay close.